I'm going to share with you guys 50 Etsy tips that have helped me to scale my Etsy business. The first one, you go on your statistics, click on Etsy app and other pages, take a look at the listings that are performing well on that section of your traffic. What I would do is I would make sure that all of those listings are being advertised because those are favored by the algorithm from all the products that I have on my store. Number two, scroll down, look at the search terms section. Try to double down on those keywords because those keywords are going to bring you the most amount of traffic. Etsy has recognized that is your strength and you need to lean in on that. Now, before I continue with the other 48 tips, if you are new to this channel, my name is Vlad. I'm a top seller on Etsy who shares all the secrets. So if you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification. Now, the last 5 I have on this list are my favorite. These are the ones that I feel like people need to know. So make sure to watch to the end to find out what the 5 tips that I find to be most valuable out of the 50. Number 3, you might know this, but you're probably not stressing enough about this. Add giftable items. When you look at the lifespan of a customer spending online, there's a big section of their spending that happens for someone else. And if you can tap into that as well as the other sections of what people spend on online, you are going to open your doors to a lot more traffic. Number 4, this one doesn't work for everybody, but create scarcity. Instead of having 999 quantity, see if you can add 10 quantity so that Etsy will create that red thing saying, hey, there's only 10 of these available in stock. Number 5, when you go on your listing, make sure that this thing is checked and you're going to look at visit to favor ratio. Now, if you are a new shop, you might want to run some advertisement to get this data, but you want a good ratio between visits to favor ratio. Now, each shop has their own ratio. There's not really a golden ratio. Number 6, titles should include brainstorm keywords. Like if you're selling a tote bag, don't just put tote bag. Customers oftentimes don't know what they want, but they do know what the product is for. For example, bridesmaid party, bachelorette party, proposal gift basket for bridesmaid. You want to have those kind of keywords also included in your title. Number 7, use up all the 13 tags that they give you. And number 8, make sure that you're not repeating keywords when you are writing your tags. If you're selling t-shirts, do not repeat t-shirt every single tag that you put in there. Number 9, category is also used for SEO, so don't include that in your tag. Don't waste space. As well as your title. Don't use those keywords that are found in your title to be in your tags because that is a waste of space. Number 10, keyword stuffing is totally fine for tags. It is not for title and description. Use those to convince your customers. Don't try to stuff those sections of your listings, but it's okay to stuff your tags. The algorithm will use keywords from those tags, each word separately on its own. Number 11, seasonal products should not be too expensive. Customers do not want to commit too much to a seasonal product they'll only use once. Number 12, create yourself a process in which you can tap into smaller seasonal products as that does improve your relevancy to your overall store. Number 13, when you are researching a product, think about the context. That will guide your research process. That will guide you in your design and what the product is for because the listing will then have a better communication strategy to your customers. Number 14, the best way to understand the context is look at your competitors' review photos. That will give you a good idea on what the product is being used for, and then you can understand your customer a lot better. Number 15, the best performing items on Etsy is within the $20 to $30 range of products that are personalized and are giftable. Number 16, advertising your listing gives you a better understanding whether your product is going to make it long-term and it's worth the time and effort to continue to invest into that product. And a statistic that you get from the marketing section tends to provide more clarity. Number 17, the best way to know real-time data whether that product is selling currently right now is looking at the reviews, organizing the reviews chronologically and seeing if they have a review at least once a day. If they do, that's usually a good indicator that that product might do well. Number 18, the more time you spend on photoshopping your product, the less likely chance it will sell. You want to create authenticity in your photos. Make sure they're high quality, but not hyper Photoshop. Number 19, go on marketing, then go on search analytics. Find the keywords that have high impression and yet low listing, which means there's still greater potential to get more sales when you focus on those keywords. Number 20, selling the right product does more success than creating the right listing. Number 21, make sure that you have options to add on. So if you are selling an oven mitt, make sure that you add the option that they can add a pot holder along with it to match. Number 22, it's okay to open up several different stores. I know people that have up to 10 different Etsy shops. Number 23, I found that for me, the greatest investment was to buy equipment that is able to personalize. There's a much greater return on my investment when it comes to making money on Etsy. Number 24, February, March, and April is one of the lowest e-commerce times of the year. So if you feel a little pressure right now, that is completely normal, and that is seasonal. Number 25, my drop shipping product tend to do a lot worse than the products that I made from scratch, as I'm able to create more variations with my own skill than committing to an inventory that cannot be changed. Number 26, an average listing for me takes about 2 to 3 weeks before I can make the decision whether it was a worth investment or not. Number 27, if you are trying to test a product, whether it's going to perform well on the market, do not increase or decrease your price compared to your other product or your competitors' products. You want to know whether that product can stand on its own despite the price. Number 28, your product will do better if it has both a want and a need element. So for example, when you're selling a water bottle, the moms want to buy the water bottles for their kids. At the same time, they want to personalize it so the kids don't lose it. So there is a want and a need basis because they want their kids to be hydrated, but at the same time, they want something nice. Number 29, if you do have a large amount of listings that you want to fill your store up and they're ready to go, make sure that you post them on a schedule and you don't just blast them all at once. Etsy doesn't like to be shocked, but it does like consistency. Number 30, Etsy does not reward you on your ranking when you bring customers from third party like Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. So assuming that you can invest into TikTok and that's going to help your ranking, that won't. That will just help collect more reviews, which is good, but directly, there's no link between Etsy actually helping you for bringing customers to its platform. Number 31, SEO does not help you with ranking. SEO is only indexing your product. The ranking is mostly based on quality score of your listing and shop and your relevancy. Number 32, make sure you have a clean banner that supports your brand. You don't want to look like a gas station with way too many ads. You want to make your customers feel something before you talk to them. And when you make your customers feel like they're at the right place, you can then introduce your listings as they start to scroll down. Number 33, I always ignore the competitor metrics on eRank. It is very rare for the competitor metrics to be accurate to what you want to sell. And oftentimes when you are selling a highly competitive keyword, you want to target a very specific version of that product anyways. Number 34, try to have least amount of elements in your thumbnail. You don't want your photo to be an authentication for an AI because the AI does need to use your photo to then make recommendation to customers that are putting things like colors and textures into the search engine. Number 35, the best way to find out what is in trend or what you should be selling is find a smaller shop that have only existed for a year or two. Find those shops that have at least 1, 2, or 3 reviews per day. That's the shop that you want to get inspired from and find the products that they are selling and doing really well and see if you can bring a better product to market. Number 37, what sells for another shop might not be the right fit for your shop. Remember, it considers your overall Etsy shop as well. Number 38, when you're fulfilling orders, think about posting new listings as being just as important as fulfilling the orders for the health of your Etsy shop. We must create a habit of putting new listings into market and never become complacent with that process. And that brings me to 39. Make sure that you have a process to creating photos and videos that is as seamless as possible so that you can focus on your creativity and have more opportunities to post new listings. Number 40, try to rent a photo studio. They're anywhere from $50 to $100 per hour. You'd be surprised how many products you can go through and take really great photos in a great styled photo room. Number 49, make sure that you set aside money for advertisement, as that is going to be the Red Bull for your growth in your Etsy shop. And you have to consider that as being the investment, the same investment you made to your equipment or inventory. And number 42, that's because advertisement is going to help you to understand whether your product is worth the continual investment or you really need to move on to the next product. That will help you with your overall business growth. Number 43, you need to understand why your competitors are selling that product at a lower price than you and see if you can replicate that process. If you cannot, make sure that you communicate clearly to your customers why you are more worth it than your competitor. You need to make sure that that is clear within the first 3 seconds of them looking at your thumbnail. Number 44, if a product has a higher traffic on Etsy than it does on Google, then the conversion rate is going to be much better, and that might be an ideal product to advertise. All right, and here are the last 5. Number 45, that corporate gifts are highly underrated. Number 46, products that have a unique purpose tend to have a much higher conversion rate. For example, instead of just selling personalized hand towels, you need to sell personalized baby baptism towels that have a unique purpose. That means your conversion rate is going to be much higher because there's a particular reason they come to Etsy for that specific keyword, and that they are not just window shopping. Number 47, my favorite research strategy is understanding why one listing has 10 times the listing than the other listing, though they are ranking on page 1. Now, after I create a list, I make that list to be the strength of the listing that I will bring to the market. The next one, the most important metric that I look at is the conversion on a 30-day chart in the statistic portion of the dashboard. This tells me whether my shop is going to have a sustainable long-term projection, at least for the next 2 to 3 months. If your conversion rate all of a sudden slumped down, there's something that happened on your shop and you need to figure it out and fix it soon. Number 49, if you are struggling in your Etsy business or a product is just too difficult, know that other competitors are having the same problems, and it's only a matter of time who can figure out a better solution or can stick through it that will be the one ranking to the top. So sometimes it's just a matter of time and effort. Number 50, the higher the emotional hype, the better the products tend to do on Etsy. For example, weddings or dogs or babies, and the list goes on. People will set aside their budgeting common sense. All right, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe.